is Katie Ibsen. I'm a transfer student at UC Berkeley. I'm going to be a graduating senior very soon. I transferred from Sacramento City College in the Central Valley of California, and I study anthropology. To me, being a transfer student means having access to opportunities that I would not have had otherwise if it weren't for transfer pathways. I failed out of high school, so I didn't have the opportunity, either academically or financially, to go straight to a four-year college straight out of high school. So when I got to community college and realized that there were transfer pathways to universities that were really exciting and offered programs I really wanted to study, it gave me the opportunity to be the academic that I know I could be.
Hello everyone, my name is Paolo Canteras. I go by Paolo and one of the TSAs this school year, and I am a transfer student from UC Irvine studying psychology and sociology. A transfer student to me is being a resilient warrior, and it's important for me because this is like a space for me to transform, and it's all about second chances. As y'all heard in my story, that I came from the Philippines thinking that it's the end for me, and that I feel like being a transfer student gives me an opportunity that I'm very capable of a lot of things, and that I have a place here.
My name is Noelle. I'm a student at the University of Notre Dame. I'm a junior studying classics and philosophy. I transferred after my first year from the University of Vermont. To me, being a transfer student means being part of a community that made it happen educationally. We all came from such different backgrounds, and we found our way to tailor our own education to our own personalized path. I'm proud to have my own unique educational pathway that I fought for and pursued, but to be united as part of a greater community of people who also fought for and united their own ways.
Hey everyone, I'm Herman Chavez. I use he, they, and elle pronouns, and I am a second-year transfer student or a fourth-year student at UCLA studying ethnomusicology and comparative literature. I transferred from Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado. Being a transfer means redefining what a college student looks like and forging and creating our own paths through systems and barriers that weren't made for us, and ensuring that we can create an academic experience for ourselves that fulfills our own needs and life experiences.
I really appreciated the keynote speaker. I thought he spoke with such passion and power, and I learned a lot about the community college aspect was kind of new to me. Having gone from a four-year to a four-year, I was just really surprised by how much of an impact the transfer community has on the surrounding community. You really talked about staying in the area, promoting education within your area, the goal of educating your community. I thought that was really powerful.
My favorite experience is actually meeting my fellow ambassadors, because it's great to meet very determined students like myself, very type A, very passionate about transfer issues and making changes on our own institutions and share what we learn here.
I was going to say meeting the other transfer student ambassadors, because like I've said throughout the entire conference, I haven't had much of a chance to become involved on my campus because my transfer student center has been closed during the pandemic, so I don't have a lot of contact with other transfer students. So to see transfer students who are so inspirational and motivated to really affect change in their universities and the way they handle transfer students is incredible. It's just being next to you guys and just in awe.
Absolutely, and I think that not only the four of us, but also a lot of the pro staff and administrators and other folks that we met here, each of us showed us what they're doing on their campuses to make their students and their transfers have a better experience, whether they're at a community college or at a four-year institution. And so for me, my favorite experience was being able to see how everyone not only brought something to the table, but also took away something that they are going to be using to make change at their school. And so I think that for me, being able to feel the energy of the week and seeing how that is being taken back across the country is really inspiring.
My biggest takeaway from this entire conference has been understanding that the transfer process does not look the same as it does across the U.S. as it does in California. Because in California, we have the master plan from the 60s that developed the infrastructure for community college transfers to the four-year universities. So I walked into my community college with the language of, this is a pathway to your degree. This is not where you're going to stop. It's a transitionary space for you. And it's apparently not the same across the country, and that's something that I've learned. And that I'm going to take that away from the conference with the way that I approach sharing information about transfers online and social media spaces, because a lot of what I've done has been California-centric, and I think I need to start expanding that and looking into how I can share that information with other transfer students and transfer experiences.
The most powerful thing that I learned to generate momentum on a campus is a transfer space. Like whether it be a hub, whether it like be with staff or with student staff, just a place that transfers can congregate, that they can make connections, that they can start thinking about changes they want to see, that the movement's passed down across the different graduating classes into the space that like is a powerhouse. It reminds the school that we're still here, we're still looking for something specific, and I think I'm going to try very hard to like focus on that as my sole priority when I get back to Notre Dame.
Also centering students in the conversation because how can we know what we need to give without talking to the transfers themselves? And so I really appreciated that we were listened to this week, and I'm definitely hoping to continue to remind everyone who's working with transfer students, which are a lot of people at the university, to remember to keep that student voice right in the middle of everything that we do.
Like you said, I think the reason that we're here is like we wanted to collaborate with like other like-minded individuals to talk about, like I mentioned earlier, transfer issues and advocating for this, because like we can't do an impact to this country if we're doing it by ourselves. So it's very important to like collaborate and create that transfer-centered community so that all the issues that are being addressed and we can make a huge impact.
Considering what it takes across the community to get there for transfer students and make sure that those types of things like centers and hubs and resources and also like at the policy level with things like accreditation or pathways and articulations, all of those things happen because we work together to make them happen. And so I think taking away this concept of coalition and community, finding the transfer allies at institutions and using them and bringing them together, centralizing our force and our power is something that I definitely want to make sure that I do when I return to my university.
Because there was so much energy and so much momentum in this space, the next thing I would say is to just take that back to your university. Be as loud and obnoxious as you need to be in order to make change, and make sure, like Herman said, really centering the student voices in that obnoxious advocacy.
Not forgetting this energy, because the longer time goes on, we can forget what the experience is like and not remember everything, and I think it's really important to take that energy and make sure that it continues. So not forgetting what this experience was like, and as you're saying, Katie, I think remembering that maybe not everyone at your institution that works with transfers is able to attend. And so it's really important to have those conversations with other people in power and other professional staff members, and ensure that they understand the importance of doing things to create change for transfer students at your university or college.
You should listen to the student needs that you're trying to meet. We're 4 people. We're not the entire transfer community. We don't even come close. We each have very individual stories. So just remembering, like, everyone does have their own pathway, and meeting people where at, like, listening to their needs, empowering those who you're trying to help, and listening to what help they're looking for.
And I just want to echo that we appreciate y'all's hard work, and that change doesn't happen overnight. And I just want you to keep persevering, that continually advocate for like transfer students, because this experience they will take it until like the future, and they will appreciate all of y'all's hard work. So keep putting the fight, and make a transformative experience.
3. Transfer.